Hi, I'm Scott from Roland, and I have a very unique pleasure to be able to talk to you about a brand new piece of gear called the RD-2000. Now, the RD-2000 is really a wonderful step up in not only quality, but also in professionalism for the needs of not only the acoustic pianist, but somebody who really wants to play electric pianos and a myriad of other sounds, but also has the desire to not only do this on stage, but in their studio, but also it has a lot of controller features. So it's gonna really work very well when you're controlling other modules or you're controlling stuff from your DAW at home. So just to kind of start things off, there's two different types of sound engines. There's a supernatural acoustic piano sound engine, and then there's an electric piano sound engine. Now, with the acoustic side, you can go in and detail the piano exactly the way that you want it. It's so unique because you can go in and tune every note and really basically create your perfect piano. Now, nobody really can make the single perfect piano, but you can detail it so it's your perfect piano, you know. So it's one of these things that can be very uniquely customized. So, and there's many different types of pianos in here that you're going to find something that's very beautiful. So, like in particular in this one, this is geared more towards like stage type of piano. So it has a little bit of a brightness, along with having a lot of body. So it's really cool. You can get a lot of punch. Things like that, you know, so it's going to sound really nice on stage, but the clarity is amazing because there's new piano sounds in here that we've never had before. And again, you know, it's the ability to have all of these unique features that can change the piano again to make it exactly the way that you like it. Now, another thing that's really nice is that we kind of kept this concept of what we called tone color. And we brought that over from the previous RD-800, which was a very, very nice feature. And essentially what that does is it takes you through the evolution of the instrument. You know, so you can go from a, like an upright mono type sounding piano to a full-on 9-foot stereo grand sound with a very widespread that kind of thing. Or if you're doing the electric pianos, you do the tone color and it will take you again through the evolution of the instrument from like the very, very vintage sound to a very contemporary sound. So that's also very, very cool. And again, this is all at a button push. So you can do this live. You can control these functions from a pedal, anything you need. Now, there's 8 internal zones to control sounds in 8 different regions of the keyboard. Or you can layer 8 different internal sounds any way you want them, okay? There's also 8 external zones that you can control like modules or something like in main stage, you know, which is also very, very popular to do. You know, having a keyboard like this, covering the meat and potatoes type of sounds, the pianos, the organs, the electric pianos, and all that stuff. But also having your computer and main stage to cover some of the other little nuances and things like that that really, really make your performance very, very special. So that's something that's very cool too. Now, there's also, again, besides the fact that you have the 8 zones, you have 8 sliders, so you can assign different parameters to this, like volume or any other parameter that you want to assign there. You also have all the knobs that are really, they're backlit, so you know, you can see everything that's on and open, it has a light. So that's also very cool, especially for playing live. Now, you move the knob, and if you move it slowly, it's dynamic. So if you move it quickly, you know, it'll move very, very smoothly and quickly. Or if you want to move it slowly, then it can move with just the very smallest little bit of increment or decrement. So it's very, very nice. Now, the overall operation of the RD-2000 is, again, very, very simple, just like we've always had with all of our other RD instruments. You know, it's very easy to call up the sounds. You know, you have your regular, you know, your main sounds here. Just awesome electric pianos. Now, you can do some more modern stuff. You can do clavinets, you can do organs, strings, so on and so on. But the thing that I really like about this, and again, it's so simple. If you want to layer a sound, you just hit, say like you want to layer maybe a piano sound with a pad, okay? So you just hit them both at the same time, and now I got a very beautiful pad sound under this piano sound. It's really nice. And conveniently, they're lined up right here, so I can actually change the volume of them in real time. So here's just the piano. Maybe I want to fade in a little bit of the pad. Maybe fade out the pad. You get the idea. It's just so real time and it's so easy to operate, you know. There's also, for the really, you know, intense pianists who really need a lot of the high resolution stuff going on, well, there's high resolution MIDI here. So it's going to be able to translate even the most, you know, demanding performances. It's going to be perfect. So awesome. There's also some really cool things where there's very unique effects. Some effects are from they emulate some of our most famous effects, like the early choruses and the early delays and things like that we've had out since vintage gear of the 80s and so on. So it's like we have all of those effects plus a lot of new effects as well. There's a song, there's rhythms, there's, you know, things like very simple things like you know, you can practice with a rhythm, you can put it into a song. There's also unique things that are nice that they're up front, is simple transpose. It's all up front. All of these features are right on the front, so you can actually do a split keyboard, you know, split the keyboard really easily, do transposition, all of these things, layering and, you know, mixing, all in real time. It's really ideal. So like, for instance, if I wanted to do like a split sound. Very simple. I'll just choose maybe an electric piano, right? And I'll just hit the split button, and I can put like a bass or whatever I want. But I could set the split point. I just hit the key, and it's done. So I got the bass there. So in a nutshell, the RD-2000 is really the perfect instrument for all kinds of levels of player, you know, production person, somebody who wants to play this live, maybe somebody at the church. This is an ideal instrument for all of these areas. It's just a wonderful instrument to play. The action is a brand new action, so it plays wonderfully. So you're never going to go wrong with the way that this plays, where you handle it, the way it moves. You have some extra controllers, you know, like these wheels that just make it really wonderful. So the RD-2000 is really a wonderful choice. Plays so nice. To learn more about the Roland RD-2000, feel free to contact the folks at Full Compass at fullcompass.com or contact the Full Compass Sales Pro.